Monday Night Football kicks off soon, and those lines are moving. I'm Joe. You're watching BettingPros, and it's time to talk out this game. Drop in the live chat here on YouTube. What you're liking, what questions you do have. This is the matchup, Week 14. We're wrapping it up with the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the LA Chargers. Now, like I said, lines are moving, and they've moved fast over the afternoon. Once a 2.5 point favorite, the Philadelphia Eagles have dropped to a 1 or 1.5 point favorite. So late money coming in on the LA Chargers at home in this Monday Night Football game. Now, one thing to note, we are seeing that total still sitting in that 42 and a half, still available on a couple of the books. We are live. Let's make a freaking million. I would love to make a million, but we'd have to bet a heck of a lot of money to make a million. That is for sure. Maybe some long shot parlays, but the books want you to take those chances on the long shot parlays. Let me know in the live chat what you're wanting to bet tonight, where you're going to go with your money. We're going to get into things that I'm liking as well out here. We're going to see as these lines continue to move before kickoff. So it's 8 p.m. We got this game on deck coming up in the next 15-20 minutes. We will be live until we kick off. So if you're liking all of this free content over on BettingPros, do me a solid. You guys hit that like button. Also hit the notification bell so you know when this free content does drop. So the Philadelphia Eagles versus the LA Chargers. We all know the Philadelphia Eagles have struggled in their last two games out. They haven't been able to get that offensive production done. What is going on in the locker room, you guys? Did you hear they have a big blow up, like 8-foot bunny for good vibes in the locker room? If someone can weigh in and tell me why, what the storyline is behind that, I would love to know. But something happening with this team that did win the Super Bowl last year. What the heck is happening out there? Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts. There's something not meshing out there on the field, especially offensively. And then big blow here to the Philadelphia Eagles. We won't see Jalen Carter in the lineup tonight. One of their best defensive players. Without that, how are we going to see the offense look here for the LA Chargers? Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I am a Chargers fan, and I do think I normally bet against my team before I'll bet for them. Tonight, I took the LA Chargers. I took them when they were 2.5 point dogs straight up on the money line, and I'm really happy with the situation I'm in right now. If you're looking for the LA Chargers currently on the money line, you can still get them at plus 100. I don't think you would want to grab them plus 1.5. This shouldn't be a 1-point game either way. Chargers win or they don't. I think it's that clear cut and dry in this matchup. Now, we are seeing that total moving down in juice. We just did see a 30.5 post on Hard Rock, but minus 500. Weird that they would even post that number, but you guys jump in the live chat here. I see you guys popping in. Let me know the questions you have. Let me know what you're liking out there. So I've already told you I'm heavy on the Chargers tonight. I do think you could play around with some old games lines here. I think they win this one by a field goal. Now, where I'm going to go with the Chargers, we know Justin Herbert has that hand injury to his non-throwing arm. That is huge, right? So we're looking at him in this game. Hopefully he doesn't make those mistakes passing the ball off. We know Hampton is back in the lineup as well tonight. So is it going to be Vidal? Is it going to be Hampton who gets that work? Well, I do think in the red zone, Hampton has a stronger ability to get into the end zone and get us that tutty. I'm taking Hampton for the anytime touchdown coming in at plus 185. Talked about Justin Herbert, talked about that hand injury. And I do think with that, you guys, his offensive line, we're still seeing banged up, right? There hasn't been any big changes out there. It's a still banged up offensive line. He has to get the ball out fast. And I don't think we will see the LA Chargers allow Justin Herbert to run. Why risk injury out there to his non-throwing hand if he's running that ball? If he's running the ball, he's protecting it. And then his non-throwing hand would be the hand that, would be out to try to stop the defenders from getting to him before he slides. So I do think it would be crazy for the LA Chargers to run Justin Herbert. He has a rushing prop of 19.5. I gladly took that to the under, you guys. So I'm rolling with the Chargers. Straight up on the money line. I got them when they're closer to plus 130 than they are right now. I'm also taking Hampton for the anytime touchdown at plus 185. And then looking at Justin Herbert here, under his 19.5 rushing yards. Now I have a couple other ways that I'm looking to go in this game, but I do want to hear what you guys are liking, what questions you have. If you guys can do me another solid again, hit that like button over here on Betting Pros as we go over everything. Now, that total, we did see it drop to 41.5, but it's bounced quickly back up to that 42. A total sitting here of 42.5. I do think it's going to be because of the Chargers defense. Looking at the Chargers defense in this game, we're seeing a strong front, right? This is a front that definitely has the ability to put the confusion on Hurts. They're able to put that pressure without throwing a lot of men at him as well. You're also seeing a defense that's able to cause that confusion, but also stop those big explosive plays. Looking at the LA Chargers, they've held opponents to 20 or less points in 4 of the last 5 games. They had that one stinker. Remember that bad one versus the Jacksonville Jaguars where the Jags destroyed them before they went into that bye week? Let's scrap that game. Let's look at the other games as a whole. It's been a really solid defense. They've been limiting their ability of their opponents to throw that ball as well as run it. So I'm looking at this one. We've got an Eagles team coming off a couple games where their offenses look bad. Their offenses look bad, especially in the fourth quarter. If you're looking at just breaking down games, first, second, third, fourth quarter, the Eagles in the fourth quarter have been just getting destroyed. Their offense hasn't been able to get any production. They're only averaging something like 4 points in the fourth quarter. So it's been bad. Jalen Hurts hasn't been, stepping up in the fourth. Either has Saquon Barkley. I'm looking here at an Eagles team total. We got an Eagles team total of 21.5. This is that East Coast team traveling west out here. I think they struggle to put up 22 points. Win or lose, I think the Philadelphia Eagles stay under the 21.5. Let me know what you guys think of that one. Let me know if you think the Eagles will stay under 21.5 because of the Chargers defense. This is a defense that you guys, I've seen over the years allow some big plays. I really did think this Chargers defense would be in trouble without Joey Bosa on the field. But this is a defense that really has been stepping up this season. So when we look at some defensive props and we look what we're going to see out there, again, I have a little bit of concern that we will see Justin Herbert make a mistake out there passing that ball off because of his injury to his left hand. But let's keep our fingers crossed he doesn't. I'm looking at Khalil Mack to be able to land that sack on Jalen Hurts. His anytime sack coming in at plus 108. Like I said, if the Chargers are to win this defense has to come to play. I've got Khalil Mack for the anytime sack. And then, that's about all I'm going to do with the defensive side of things. I don't want to put the black cloud on Justin Herbert. If he gets sacked in this game, you guys, the risk of that injury is so great to that hand that just had surgery that I just think it would be a mistake for that offensive line not to give him the protection or him not to throw it away last second. So I'll look at Mack here to break through that offensive line. Like I said, with the LA Chargers, they have to play out strong on the defensive side of things. Now, when we're looking at kicking props, though, Dicker the kicker here, we know the Eagles defensively, Jalen Carter not in the lineup, but this defense really has to really step up. I would look at Dicker the kicker for over his kicking props. Now, for some reason, it's frozen right now on the book that I'm looking at for Dicker the kicker, but I do expect him to be able to put up some field goals tonight on the board. If that number is 7.5, that's where I would go. That was the last time that I looked at Dicker the kicker's props was 7.5. Even though I think this is an under game, I'm expecting it to go under with those field goals coming. And then a couple of anytime touchdowns. Again, I'm looking at Hampton for the anytime touchdown at plus 185. When we go to the other side of the ball with the Philadelphia Eagles, it's hard not to deny Jalen Hurts that tush push, even against a strong defense like this. We know the Eagles are the best team in the league. They invented this tush push and they have every ability to get that ball in the end zone. So looking at Hurts for that tush push and looking at current lines right now, so I don't give you stale lines, you guys, his anytime touchdown coming in at plus 115. Now, what are we going to see out of Saquon Barkley? Keeps being a huge question mark that I ask myself each and every single game over these last couple, because Saquon Barkley just hasn't looked like himself. He's really come back down to earth here. So Saquon Barkley coming in for that anytime touchdown at plus 110. His rushing prop is 70.5. I don't think I could go there. I would probably look at his rushing attempts. I think the Chargers really limit Saquon Barkley out here, but I think he has those opportunities. He has those chances. Saquon Barkley's rushing attempts is 17.5. I like that better than his rushing yards over the 70.5. And I know that he can get a couple of really long breakouts in these games, but I do think it will be his rushing yards. Now, remember, both of these teams, 8-4. Both of these teams need to come out and get the win here with so much on the line. But it's got to be for me to look at those for Saquon Barkley for those rushing attempts. So looking at Saquon Barkley has 740 rushing yards on the season, 198 carries for that 740, so averaging 3.7 with the longest being 65. So he has had that big breakout. He does have 4 touchdowns on the ground. You also look at Saquon Barkley. He has had those receptions, and I could see the short passes off from Jalen Hurts to Saquon Barkley in this game because you get Barkley kind of in that free space, and he's such a wrecking ball out there on the field. So he's got 35 receptions on 43 targets for 259 yards. So definitely could be a good way to go with his receiving prop. Let's just quickly pull that up and look at the receiving prop. I feel like I'm talking myself into this one as I look at Saquon Barkley here. Yeah, he has a receiving prop, you guys. I'm going to get it in as soon as we're done here of 16.5. I do think Saquon could go over that. I look for those short passes to come. Now, I'm sure a lot of you will be circling Jalen Hurts for his rushing yards, while I'm taking Justin Herbert under the 19.5 rushing yards. I will be looking at Jalen Hurts over his 33.5. Hurts knows he has to put the weight of this team on his shoulders. So Hurts over 33.5 rushing yards, I think is another solid way to go. So you guys, we got a lot of different ways that you can go in this Monday night football game. It's hard to believe we're already week 14. Now, one thing to note, the LA Chargers do have the Kansas City Chiefs on deck. Next week, we know what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs last night. Wow. If you were betting with the Houston Texans, I tell you, you were sitting there smiling happy at the end of that game, but it was never an easy win, like stress-wise, right? You were sitting there, you were waiting to see what Patrick Mahomes was able to do on that last drive, and the defense really came up big for Houston. The Chargers defense will need to do the same. The Chargers defense needs to come up big here versus the Eagles. They need to come up big next week versus the Kansas City Chiefs as well if they want to win the next 2 games. I'm counting on this defense. Again, best bet in this one, the Eagles team total under 21.5. The Chargers straight up on the money line. Again, you've lost the best of that value as they have moved to a 1-point dog instead of that 2.5-point dog. But you can do an alt spread here for the LA Chargers. If you will lay 2.5 with the LA Chargers, let's look it up, you guys. I got it in earlier because I did bet the spread earlier with the Chargers laying 2.5. Now laying 2.5 at plus 122. I got them closer to the plus 140 mark. Now 55.60. So when you're live betting, you could live bet this game as well. I would have no problem waiting to see how this one starts out and coming back in on the LA Chargers if the Eagles are able to go up first in this game. I think it would be a great way to go, actually. We'll see who gets the ball with the coin flip out there to see who goes up in this one. But I do think live betting the Chargers if they go down. I think it's going to be, no matter what, a field goal style game. Looking at that spread again, we have seen constant movement for the ones out there. There is limited 1.5s now, you guys. So hopefully you got the Chargers early before going into this one. We're now seeing DraftKings, FanDuel with the 1.5. You're seeing BetMGM, Caesars, Hard Rock, all with the 1, Pinnacle with the 1. You guys, it is crazy. Hard Rock does have the 42.5. So if you're looking at that total, make sure you do head on over to Hard Rock and get that total to the under 42.5. That's the best one for the total out there. I do think we stay under that total. We're seeing and we just saw it move to 42. I tell you, this game is so fluid right now, you guys, going into it. Lines are all over the place, but it does look like we're about to go live on this game. This one kicking off right away here in the next couple of minutes. I see you guys in here, everyone in here, if you could hit that like button. I would appreciate it. If there's anything that you're liking, any questions you did have in this game, one thing I wanted to know, I hate fading players, but I am fading players, and I almost forgot about it, you guys. Looking at Gadsden, the tight end here for the LA Chargers. I got to take him to the under. His receiving prop, 35.5. It's just too high for me. You look at the Eagles defensively, and they're so solid against that tight end position. And I think Gadsden has those struggles. I don't think he's going to be a key target. Normally, the tight ends are such a strong key target out there for their quarterbacks, but I don't see him being a strong target tonight. So Gadsden, that is my fade out there of my LA Chargers, his under receiving prop of 35.5. So that's coming in right around that minus 111 mark, you guys. But this game is live. We are officially live here between the LA Chargers and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles, of course, out there on the road. Currently, you're seeing those lines still sitting at that 1.5. So all the best in all of your bets, you guys. Make sure you do hit that like button over here on Betting Pros so you keep this free content coming out all the time. But I will be back next Monday, so hit that notification bell so you know when we do go live here. You guys, all the best in all of your bets. Until next time, stay hot and let's make some freaking money. See you guys.